Wednesday and Sunday night? Well, if it's nothing, I welcome you to African Kona, which ranges from 8 to 9 p.m. It ranges from different topics such as family, relationships, and every single thing talking about our African roots. So if you're interested, welcome to African Kona.
A very good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where and when you're watching us from. My name is Mutathi Wachira Wanyaka, Mujiri wa mbari ya Karigithi, na ngwihoka kuma ng'ongo ciothe iria ciumaga huho muri thayu. Today is the last day of the month of January, that is the 31st of January 2024. And the month is over, 2024, it's already kicking in. So today we are back with the African Corner episode, and this is African Corner episode 36, where we will be reviewing the AFCON 2023. Here in African Corner, we basically discuss about social issues affecting Africa and other issues that are in Africa and happening in Africa. And AFCON is one of those major events that are happening in Africa as we speak. So it will not be fair or just if we do not speak about it. And I still have the same panel, the in-house guests wenyewe. So starting from my, okay, let me not say my left or right, but starting from mine, how are you?
I'm fine, I'm good. I'm happy to be back hosting, having this first African Corner show of the year. I know you guys must have been wondering what happened to African Corner, but we are back even better than last year, and it's always a good time talking about African issues with an African panel.
Yeah, Africa. And you've seen an African panel. Okay. Yeah, Jeff Waheto, how are you also?
Hello everyone, I'm Jeff Miner. I'm fine. This month has been very long, but we hope for the best. This January, hey, we have been waiting. It's like almost a year. We hope February will not be long. I know it's short. We hope for better opportunities, better networking, and hope for the best. Yeah.
I'm now wondering. This is the same guy who on Sunday said that January is short. Now he's saying it is like a year.
Yeah, 2 days can change everything. Yeah. 2 days can change everything.
Okay. We hope you're good. Anyway, so basically, let us just have a general, view of how you have found the AFCON minor, Collins. How you have found the AFCON generally as it is right now. How is the mood for you? How are you finding the competition so far?
Yeah, the competition is very stiff but entertaining for us fans, because some teams you expected to proceed, they didn't proceed. It leaves you shocked that even the previous title holders could not make it past the round of 16. But for us fans, it has been very entertaining. You see that there is indeed potential for sports within Africa. We've been treated to beautiful games, beautiful goals, and as a football fan, seeing things like that, you're very happy to see Africans playing within the African continent and playing for something that actually makes sense, because when you play for your country, I believe it holds great power when you wear the flag of your country and play and give it your all on the field. But like I said before, it has been very shocking, because the teams which I had expected to proceed, I'm not seeing them go far. I think this is the AFCON for the underdogs, if I could say so.
As I said last time, instead of the continent, as we were basically just mentioning the AFCON 2023, it's a thrilling actually competition, because it's something that you did not see coming, and that's what makes competition very interesting. So we are thinking. You're thinking that a certain team is going to proceed, and you are sure you can even place a bet on it. But I don't bet, but you're sure you can also place a bet on it. But now, those are the same people who don't even make it to the round of 6. So basically, I'm also sharing the same views as you. It has been a very thrilling and very interesting competition so far. Very interesting, as in the teams that are moving on. really amazing. You don't even know how they got there, and it is good that they prepared well for this competition. Jeff, what about you? What are your general views about the AFCON so far?
Oh, according to me, I think the AFCON is very unpredictable. Just like you said, and Collins, the teams have been supporting from the start have been failing me, starting from our neighbors here to the south. You see, I thought the teams that have been at the top will emerge all at the top, but the teams zimekuwa chini na saizi zinainuka. It shows that the young talent, the teams have been putting more practice, and we hope Kenya will reach there. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, as Colin said, the underdogs. This competition have the ones who are the ones who have proceeded and proceeded, and we just hope that the winner, eventual winner, is somebody that you cannot think of. And just basically, before we proceed further, Jeff, what team were you? Don't say the ones that have made it so far. Just say originally, what team were you supporting originally,
I was supporting Morocco.
and right now. The ones
Right
that are
now,
remaining.
very, very unpredictable. But I think
Okay.
Cote d'Ivoire. Cote d'Ivoire
Cote d'Ivoire.
is, I don't know for
Okay.
now.
Collins, Mimi, I am a very honest East African member. I was supporting Tanzania. So far, I was really behind Ndoguzetu, and then they were they were the underdogs who never proceeded. But right now, I'm with our friends from the other side. Bafana. I don't know how far they will go. So what about you, Collins? What was your original team, and right now, who are you supporting? So to proceed further.
I was supporting our neighbors from the south. I was supporting Tanzania because of the spirit of ujamaa within the East African community. However, they did their best, but their best was not good enough. But anyways, they tried. Right now, I'm supporting Nigeria, even though Kenya and Nigeria might not be in very good terms right now. But I've seen their games, and I think from what I've seen, they're likely to go far, even reach the finals, and potentially even win the competition.
Yeah, that is indeed true. But me, I'm remaining true to the spirit of the underdogs. Many people are really assuming South Africa are not going anywhere. But let me tell you, the way those Bafana people are coming, oh my. I don't know what they will do today with the match between them and Cape Verde, which will determine whether they're getting to the they'll get to the semis or not. But let us just hope and see how it goes. Now, what about your views on? Okay, something I've not asked. What was your favorite player? I was also in the spirit of supporting Tanzania. I was supporting Collins. You already know my favorite player. By the way, he did a really good job. By the way, so that was the guy I was supporting. Samata. Anyway,
Yeah,
who was your favorite one, or who is still your favorite in the competition?
yeah. I know you're asking me who is this Bwana Samata, but for me, I think I'd say I'd have to choose between. I'd have to take two. First of all, there's Osimhen from Nigeria. He's not scored that much goals, but if you watch their games, he's contributed a lot in their build-up play, enabling them to score goals, holding up the ball while when it's kicked forward by the keeper. And the second one is from Angola. It's called Mabululu. I don't know if I've pronounced his name right, but he scored a very good goal when they're playing against Namibia. So for me, those have been the two standout players in this tournament so far. But who knows? It might change as the competition progresses. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say also somebody like Samuel Chukwueze, from the forward from Nigeria. I was watching him and I think he's also doing well. I just think he's really aggressive in the field. He needs to, So, Jeff, what about you? Who was your favorite, or who is still your favorite player you see is really doing nice in the field?
Yeah, also for me, I also have two players which I think are the best, and they are known players. From the team I was supporting, Morocco, I believe Hakimi as the captain. I really like that guy. and the second one is Sadio Mane from Senegal. That guy has a team spirit. He knows how to motivate people. Although they lost some games, but he stood up with them and told them we can still do it. Even in the 90th minute, we can still do it. Yeah, I think Sadio Mane.
You know, there is a young man from Cameroon whose name is Vincent Abubakar. You know, they're saying he's a young man. I don't know if you guys have followed this young man. He's only 32 years old. And I thought because we are young, we're going to support a fellow young person. Anyway, Collins, did you see Vincent Abubakar from Cameroon?
Yeah, I have seen him, and I think he's a very interesting player to see play, and also his actions within the field. Apart from being a footballer, I believe he could also make it very well as a comedian. Yeah, yeah,
Indeed.
yeah. He's very
Indeed.
entertaining and very good at his job on the field because he's a striker who scores goals and yeah, and just lives like life like it's meant to be lived. He's not
Mm.
that much, yeah, very constricted or constrained. He just expresses himself as he wishes or as he sees right. And watching him play, I must say, is a pleasure. Yeah.
Okay, and also basically there are some questions now we want to look into. Collins, from your end, many people are wondering or are still asking, why are we seeing AFCON 2023? Yes, you hear us right. It is indeed AFCON 2020. We are not wrong. So, guys, maybe Collins, you just explain to them why it is AFCON 2023 officially, not AFCON 2024.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, during a few years back, we experienced COVID. And during that time of COVID, a lot of competitions had to be switched and played during other years. So due to that, they had to make some rearrangements on these tournaments. So that is just as a result of what happened, but in future, these things will come to happen at the right time as was meant to be. Because COVID happened to us and there was nothing we could do about it. We had to restructure and find new ways of doing things. But in future, everything will come back to what we expect it to be. And sometimes maybe they might already have rebranded the merchandise. They might have already made payments for things. So changing the year from 2023 to 2024 also becomes a bit hard. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Jeff, also just to highlight, you can tell our viewers why also some people are referring to this competition as Total Energies 2023 AFCON. Why is that word Total Energies there? And as you are answering that, just to add on what Minor Olishasha was saying, the other reason why it is also was pushed, it is because of also the weather conditions in Cote d'Ivoire. So, even if you guys have been following the match, you see this, it is very hot. Within the 10th minute, those players are sweating and it's very hot there. So that's one of the things that made them also to consider the competition to happen in 2024, hoping that the weather will be a little bit favorable, because it wasn't really favorable in 2023, and it wasn't really, according to the predictions, it wasn't wise to do to have the competition in 2023. Jeff, so tell our viewers, just in a very basic and simple manner, why is Total Energies also one of the names in the competition?
Okay, of that, I really don't know the exact meaning. I don't want to say something that is not true. And about, I can say I don't really have that knowledge about what is called Total Energies. But about what Collins has said, why is called
No,
2023.
Jeff, hold on. Don't say what Collins has said. Collins, tell them, Bessie, what Total Energies is. I'm wondering why Jeff is not aware of that. So,
Yeah, Total Energies is the main sponsor for the event. So that's
yeah,
why you see when they are playing their games, you see the Total logo. It's just in their process of marketing themselves as a business. That's why even if you see the football matches on the sides, you'll see Total Energies by the sides. Yeah, so they are the main sponsor for the event. That's why they've taken center stage even when the advertising for the event is being done. Yeah.
Yeah, true, true. So that's the reason why, just to highlight to, the ladies keep on asking these questions. Why is Total Energy? Total is just that Total that a petrol station, yeah? Or a gas station, according to each English you use. And then AFCON 2023, it's because, as Collins has explained. Now, let us get into the competition even deeper. Collins, I know I'm asking this very simple question. Today's conversation is just basic. We don't want to really get into the competition too much because it is we want to wait for it first of all to end in its totality so that we can now come and discuss properly the games and the moments and the matches. But just to keep on our people educated, uh, what was your favorite moment or one of the matches that you loved? And before you tell us that, funny enough, mine just happened yesterday, and I did not see that coming. You know, the way my friends, I've said Bafana, Bafana. And let me just play a clip of what happened yesterday. And I know some people are saying those people did not get to what they had a hard time to get, to the pedal, blah, 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 blah. You know what? We don't care. At the end of the day, they got to where they got to. Now, just watch this. Let me not even play it further. So basically, that was one of my favorite moments in the whole competition because I'm telling you, and I'm not lying, I did not see South Africa proceeding. The way they won yesterday, I just said, you know what? This might be the winners for 2020, AFCON 2023. So, Collins, what was your favorite moment in the whole the favorite match, especially that you loved? And it was, it's that moment that you naambiwa wachilia kushwa.
Eh, For me, I think it will also be within the group stages, the match between Senegal and the Ivory Coast and the Congo, because just Senegal scored within the very first few minutes, and from then I thought the game was done and dusted. I'm not sure if it was Congo, sorry, but Senegal scored within the very first few minutes, and I thought it was done and dusted. But
Actually, by the way, you
it was
remember
the Ivory
they
Coast.
scored very fast, and the game like was over. The mood was like done. What the hell is going on?
Yeah, it was between Senegal and Ivory Coast. And within the very first few minutes, Senegal had already scored. And then, being the previous champions, I think most of us thought that this game is done and dusted. From then on, they would score more goals and they will be in the semi-finals from then. But then Ivory Coast equalized, I think, when the game was only 5 minutes were remaining to the end of the game. And it just goes to show you how much these people pushed themselves and really tried and struggled. And they didn't lose hope even after going 1-0 down. Because when you go 1-0 down against a country that is known to defend well and is known to attack also, even probably better than they defend, some of us would have lost hope. But I think the support from their home fans, first of all, did a lot. And that's the mentality of the players. I think that's what for me really impressed me. That you might be down, but you're not beaten totally.
And
That's such
actually,
that even it,
you should remember, Collins, also for Ivory Coast, it is the fan base and actually the audience, the people who are watching the game are really helping that team. They are really playing a very pivotal role, and that's why you are saying,
yeah,
yesterday that day when they were playing. I was so sure. Me by the time Senegal had scored, I was just so done. And let me even go to bed. This game we already know.
yeah. It,
I
it,
was wrong.
it
Let
looked
me
like,
play. Before you proceed, let me just play a snippet of that game so that you can proceed. I'm telling you,
yeah,
I don't think you guys are feeling happy.
very
You see,
interesting moment, by the way.
very interesting moment, as in it is. Can you imagine? Hey, Jeff, I don't know if you understand being at such kind of a the whole country is on your shoulders. Anyway, Collins, proceed what you're saying.
Yeah. I don't know if any of you have tried taking penalties in a football game, but that's a very tense moment because
Mm,
everything starts and ends with you. I know some people shy away from taking penalties, but just standing up and saying that I'll take this penalty and I trust myself enough, because
mm,
it was either if they missed that penalty, their country would have been out. So
mm,
imagine shattering the dreams of millions of people seeing the country win a tournament. For me, him standing up and saying I'll take the penalty and actually scoring it,
mm.
it was very interesting for me.
Yeah.
And just that, even after scoring the penalty, they didn't stop there. They went ahead and struggled for 30 more minutes. And with penalties, it's 50-50. There's a chance you could pass, there's a chance you could fail. And they took that chance. And for me, that has been the best moment of this AFCON so far.
True, true, true. What about you, Jeff? What about you? What was your favorite moment, and what was that match that was unique to you?
Okay, let me first comment about the penalty. You see, kitambo before this, the wamekuja proper security. If you could have lost a penalty, ungeenda uchukue basi ya kwanza. The fans could get angry and attack you. I think there's someone who has been attacked and killed. Yeah.
Yeah, in a World Cup.
Mm. Yeah, my
Mm,
favorite moment, it's very ironic. You see, the day Morocco lost, I really learned that the fans and the players were really attached to that game. All of them started crying, and I was like, hey, this is not dying for your country. Although they lost, I think the fans, they were ulikuwa unaona hadi watoto wanalia. Sema,
mm.
they love the country. Yeah, that was my favorite moment.
You see, somebody by the name Wangi Mashare ananiambia niwache. Me, I'm standing behind Bafana publicly. Whatever happens, it is okay. I have declared my stand. You see, he's also saying that all Senegal players had two left feet, and majirani wetu kuliendaje, the Tanzanian. Actually, Collins, what was the name? What is the team name for Tanzania?
I'm not sure what their name is. I'm not very sure about that. But it must be something Swahili.
Yeah, it's something Swahili. Let me give you some minutes so that you can try and remember it. And if you're watching and you know it live, so send it in the comments there. But also something that I really like also to mention. I don't know, as you guys are also mentioning, one of the highlights and the things that you find interesting in the show is something that I like to mention is about Mauritania. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that country's name right. For the first time ever, those people proceeded to the round of 16. And remember, they have never ever proceeded to that. So it is indeed a match of the underdogs. There are people who are proceeding are the people who we did not expect, even in a single day or even in a single minute, they are going to proceed. And you remember, there was somebody by the name Emilio, especially the match that they were playing against. Obviously Angola did whatever they did, but these people, this person Emilio, who was a very good player, by the way, and at that particular moment, I don't know where the score sheet of the tournament, he was really topping at the score sheet of the tournament. He actually made the country for the first time ever to reach to that level that they got to. Can you imagine? I don't know, Collins, what are your thoughts on that? I think Collins has frozen. I don't know if Collins can hear me, but Masharia Mwangi saying majirani wetu anaitwa Taifa Stars. Yeah, they are called Taifa Stars. That's right. Yeah. So Collins, can you now
Sorry,
hear me?
yeah, I can hear you now, but I didn't hear your question before.
Yeah, I was talking about Mauritania and how they got to wherever they got, especially by the help. I want to say Emilio really did well for them.
Yeah, I'm sure most of our viewers can't even locate Mauritania on the world map, even if they tried, even if there was a prize for it. But it just goes back to my previous statement of this being the the AFCON for the underdogs, because these teams have nothing to lose, and they are there for their countries, and they are there to prove themselves that yes, we might not be known, but we are here to make it. Because I was also looking at the stats for their positions within the world rankings, and how far they've progressed. Find countries which are almost within the top 30 within the world rankings, but they've not gone far. Countries which are far below them are progressing, and that's what gives the competition that feel that way. That's what gives us fans the attraction towards the game. That's what we like. We don't like predictability. Sometimes when you go watch a game and you're sure this team will win, this team will lose, sometimes you're bored halfway between the game. But if you don't know what team is going to win and you don't know the scores, it makes it even more interesting.
True.
And we hope Kenya will be there giving people surprises in the next AFCON. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, we really hope. Let us, yeah, we really hope Arambe Stars will do well once they're called upon. Jeff, we have also had, I don't know whether you have ever heard about the concept of the curse of the champion. Collins, you have ever talked about the curse of the champion some time back and when you're talking about the World Cup. And are we really now, when we're saying that the rise of the underdogs, also we are now talking about the curse of the champions this time round. Talk of Senegal, huh? The Sadio Manes of this world, of the people that you can speak of and you know of them in those premium English leagues, like Premier League, like whatever, those leagues that are in Europe, you know those names. Or these countries that we are so sure of that they're going to do well, they're going to do well. What do you think, Jeff, about the curse of the champions? Do you think sometimes it's not a really good time to be a champion this time of the year?
Yeah, according to me, you see, sitaki kusema hivi, but I think when you are at the top, there's some at least pride kidogo, and when you wako chini, kwanza in the case of Mauritania, I heard that the people who played the previous AFCON were almost changed, almost everyone. They picked the young talents. They
Mhm.
didn't care about if you are a celeb, if you are a superstar. If there's someone who is better than you, he takes your place. That will, if it can happen in Egypt, Senegal, if there's someone better than Sadio Mane.
O- o- Okay, I think we have lost Jeff there due to some network issues. Jeff, you can proceed.
Yeah, I was saying, if you see people like Sadio Mane from Senegal mainly play because of their fame. But if they put that, if there's someone better who can play better than Sadio Mane and replace him, I think the curse of the champions will be broken, and the champions will nini. Don't know where that will happen.
You
Yeah.
see, you see. Let me put the curse of the champion in perspective. You know me, I'm a scholar in my other life, and let me put it into perspective before Mina you come in. For the longest time, the people who have won the AFCON have never gone past the round of 16. And actually, this time round, we had thought, oh, maybe the curse of the champion has been broken. And then we found out that the witch who left that curse is still doing whatever they are doing. So can you imagine, for example, Algeria? They have not gone since they won. They have never, they have never gone. I don't know. I'm laughing. They have never gone beyond the group stage since they won. They have been defending and defending. And we thought, for once that Senegal were going to break this curse of the champion and actually maintain it. It's actually not the case. Collins, is the best way to succeed at AFCON is not succeeding.
Wow, wow, wow. That's an interesting question to ask. But from my point of view, I think that curse of champions can be explained in a way, because if you win, chances are very high that you'll not change your tactics. Your tactics will not be progressive. You like to stick with what has worked. So if we played this way and we won this tournament, chances are very high that during the next tournament we'll retain what we had before. And people coaches look at these games for 4 years or for 3 years. They've been analyzing how you play, how you defend, how you attack. So the chances are very high that if you come back with the same tactics, you're not going to make it far. Then again, if you make it, there's that sense of pride knowing that we did this, we can also do it again. But that comes back to haunt you, or like they say, kinakuramba. So the problem is not, there is no witch out there cursing African teams not to win tournaments again. I think the problem is within the tactics. They have to be progressive. If something worked, don't stick with it, but make it better. Because even if you look at the top coaches worldwide, if they win this season, the next season they come up with a new team, or rather an improvement of the previous teams. But if you look at these teams, it looks like they are recycling people because they worked that time. And in football, people invest their time and effort looking at these games, and those tactics that worked then might not necessarily work now.
Maybe they believe in that thought that, if it works, do not touch it.
Yeah, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah, if it is not broken, do not fix it. And I can see I can see Kevin Derito saying that Rashida hauna imani na Harambee Stars. I actually have a lot of hope with them, by the way. They're in my prayers, especially for 2027. And then Macharia Mwangi saying Washira hawamini. Why are you people saying? I believe actually these people can do well, by the way, and they are going to. Let me tell you. And then Dunga is saying that the first will be the last. Okay, I hear you. So it's actually funny when you're talking about the curse of the champions, because even if you look at the whole tournament properly, basically the whole competition, Senegal have been trading on very thin ice. Even the games that they won, it was very thin ice, and you're wondering, were these the same champions in the last AFCON? Anyway, talking of the cast of the champions, let us also talk about where were the stars. The big names that you're thinking about. When I was mentioning Samata, I also forgot to mention that one of my, and I think I mentioned it also, Nsue Emilio. That guy. I think he has done really well, really well. So where also were the champions? Where were the big names, Jeff? What happened to the stars that you are thinking that Sadio Mane is in Senegal? We thought he's going to help his team. We thought with him he's going to do something. Actually, people are saying Egypt maybe did not get where it is supposed to get because Salah. You heard that story, right, Jeff?
Yeah. Oh, okay. I recently said earlier about Sadio Mane. Although he's a big name and they lost, he did try their best because there was that team spirituality. Even when they are beaten 2-0, went to the players and I'm Ken, we can still do it. But the problem with the big names, I think when you are playing with the other team members, when you are playing with a big player, I think kuna kale kawoga fulani. I think there's tension and for example, kuna kitu ingine niliona, the big players hawajakuwa kitrain na the other members of the country, and lazima watakuja fit, so they will come and they will try to incorporate their tactics. They will do the way they have been taught on the English Premier League kuliko wasikilize wa Africa ma coaches. Yeah, I think that's the main problem.
Yeah, that's a really sound argument, actually. And I wanted to ask the same question to Collins, but I think you have mentioned it also. So, Collins, what does this say now about these people are playing at the international level? Let me say the Premier League, like at the international level. What does it mean? Are we failing to connect? Are they failing to connect with the African people because they think they are better, or they are indeed better trained, or what is the psychology behind that? Where were the stars?
They say football is a team sport, and if you listen to motivational speakers, they say there is no I in team. So these big names, sometimes when they come into a team, it's hard to handle even for the coaches, because this person probably earns more than you, so you instructing them in the first place is also a hard task. Then again, you realize if you're a big player, say Mane for instance, if you're playing as a forward, all the defenders want to mark you. So even you making an impact within that games becomes so hard. Then again, this what we'd call big players, even who are playing in the European leagues, don't become big alone. There's a team working around them, a team who they've built understanding with, whom they've played with for a lot of times, not as many times as they might have played with their African teammates. Because you realize how African teams are constructed is they just try to select this one is playing abroad, this one is playing abroad, and that's how they construct their teams. So making these people who might not have played together a cohesive team is kind of difficult. That's why South Africa, for instance, yesterday won because you realize that more than half of their players play within South Africa. They play for Mamelodi, so they've built an understanding within them. So yeah, it all comes down to just football being a team sport. It's not about having that one person who you depend on for everything. And maybe
Mm.
these teams have not been structured to perform as a team. They've been structured to rely on one person. That's why you might say that these big names are not showing up within this competition.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let us now get out of the field. I know, AFCON is also majorly and mainly in the field, but I don't know if you guys got a chance to, hear or look or research, or I don't know whether you heard about now the issues that are outside the field. And basically, in Africa, we are talking about political issues outside the field. You know, three of the stadiums that are being used in Cote d'Ivoire were were constructed by the Chinese, right? So, what does that mean also? We are talking about AFCON of Africans by Africans for Africans and whatever. But even the infrastructure that we are using was not constructed by the Chinese. I mean, by Africans. It was constructed by the Chinese. And then later, we see a US secretary go to Cote d'Ivoire, attend a game, and then there was some political discussion that we want to showcase that despite the fact that the East are here, the Easterners are here, we the West are still present. And he actually went ahead to have conversations with the president of Cote d'Ivoire, Alassane. I don't know how that name is supposed to be pronounced. And they actually promised them that they are going to issue 45 billion to prevent and issues of instability and promote stability for the West African state. So I don't know whether Collins you're able to follow that, and what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I saw the US Secretary of State was there. And sometimes this monetary help, it has strings attached to it because they say we are going to solve this problem and we are going to solve this problem, but they've made deals with your leaders to perhaps hand us your resources and steal from you without you actually knowing it. And on that point of constructing stadiums, I know you know of that one African engineer who could have built that stadium within even 2 weeks. But
Mm,
it all boils down to the type of leaders we choose, because these decisions are not made by the common man. They're made by our leaders who for some reason don't trust the Africans. And I remember there was another episode we had in which we said Africans for some reason learn to hate all that is African, because if you hear a project is being done by an African engineer, you hear some people saying this one won't even go far, this one won't stay past 10 years. So for some reason, I don't know why we don't trust in our ability to be able to build ourselves. But I think the generation that is coming up now is just starting to realize the power that lies within doing things as Africans for Africa. So
mm,
that might be the situation in which we find ourselves now. But from the things I'm seeing, that is very likely to change. In a few years from now, we'll not be giving out contracts to the Chinese, contracts to maybe American companies or foreign companies. And then there is another problem again. Sometimes you defend these Africans, but when they're given projects, they do them in a manner and you ask yourself, oh, really, what have you done? Because let me give you an example of where I stay. there was some time they were digging a trench along the road, and then after digging the trench, they had to recarpet the road. And I looked at what that engineer had done, and you just wonder, how? Why would you do this? But the solution to that, according to one Mr. Kimani, is appending one's names on one's projects, so that if you build a stadium, it's given your name, so that if you do shoddy work, your name speaks for you. People know that this certain engineer did this and he did it very badly. But yeah, it's a sad situation in which we find ourselves in. But the change starts from us, and it has already started. So within a few years, the situation will have changed.
Okay, Jeff also, you people watu wa memes. Amja tu memes gani zina trend huku za AFCON? I know there are some few that have been up and about. Maybe you can, do you have one at the top of your mind you can share with us that you know happened from the game?
Yeah, sorry to say this, but kuna yenye niliona about the curse of the champions. Niliona ati Kenya wanashindwa kuproceed na tuko na Wakisi na Wakamba.
Yeah. Anyway, so guys, we just give Collins as we are wrapping up. Just can you try and focus how you are seeing now the competition moving forward now from the semis, from the quarters to the semis to the finals? How are you picturing this thing going?
That's a tough question, because, like I said before, this competition is very hard to predict. But all the big names are out of the tournament, so you might even be shocked to find someone you didn't expect in the finals. But something I'd like to say, I'm sure of, I think we'll see Nigeria in the finals, perhaps with your South Africa, and we'll see who takes the day
Okay,
at
let me
top.
put you on the spot with Jeff. Nigeria versus Angola. Who obviously Collins is supporting Nigeria. Jeff, who do you think is taking this between Nigeria versus Angola?
Because Nigeria inajulikana sana, and we are about to say the big dogs which are rising up. Let me say Angola.
Okay. Collins, DR Congo versus Guinea.
I would like to say Guinea. I'd like to say Guinea.
Okay. Jeff, Mali versus Ivory Coast.
Mali. The goalkeeper of Mali.
Collins, I know you may be having a court of reviews today.
Sorry, come again.
Mali versus Ivory Coast.
Let me pick the opposite of what Jeff picked. So I'll pick Ivory Coast.
I will actually will have, I will pick Ivory Coast, not only for the fact that they're really good, good in the field, but also because of the fan base. The fan base is really pushing these guys. And remember, there's that advantage of being at home. So it really pushes you. And I'm thinking that spirit of actually the football is actually pushed by the people who are actually watching it. Because if now people don't watch it, the players are now just playing for no reason, right? So I believe in the spirit of the people of the Ivory. How are they called? The people of Ivory Coast.
Ivorians.
Ivorians. Yes, they might, support them. Yeah, Jeff, Cape Verde versus South Africa. Or is it Cape Verde?
Cape Verde.
Let me just Cape Verde. Colin, Cape Verde versus South Africa.
For this one, I'll also have to go with Jeff. I'll go with Cape Verde.
Okay, so me, I'm dying with South Africa. If they lose this summer, we go well and good.
You see, Washira. You see the fans wa Cape Verde. Wanakuja wakiwa traditional, wanaimba huko. You can't lose. They wanaamsha ancestors. You can't lose that game.
In fact, there was one face whose whole face was blue, so I was wondering how is this one going to bathe, because his whole body was blue.
I don't know if I'll sound politically incorrect, but if some South African women go there, You know, South African men are already used to what they do. The entire game will be called refused, and we mark the winners and we go home. Anyway, I can see Mashari Mwangi saying that Super Eagles, you know, is and then Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast. There, I'm with you guys. Ivory Coast versus taking this, and then obviously Nicolas Pepe. Right, nice. Anyway, I think we can stop at that so that now we wait for the game and see how it goes, and eventually, maybe come and discuss, you know, how it went. We either come back on African corner, or we will say once it is done within the state of the continent, we will tell you who won and how it went and how we found it. Eventually, the entire competition. But before we leave, Jeff, our announcement, remember, what are we reminding people to do?
Yeah, we still have the scavenger hunt on 16th March. It will be on a Saturday. Please attend. Tomorrow, I will post a snippet of a video of how the scavenger hunt will look like, the questions and answer. You see, mnasemanga mnajua about Africa and your Africanicity. I will test you tomorrow. See you there.
Yeah, Colin, final thoughts as we wrap up.
Yeah, it has been an interesting conversation, and I'd like just to remind you guys, like Jeff has said, of our scavenger hunt on the 16th of March. And also remind you that there's still an option to lipa mdogo mdogo. You don't have to pay the full amount. You can pay from as little as 200 shillings, and by the time the event comes, you'll have completed the whole amount. Yeah, that's all from me.
Yeah, as you have heard, I will not add anything, I will not reduce anything. My name is Mutadwa Shirawanyara. Ijine Gerana Sia Mobi Mobi. Live.
Are you an outdoor person who likes having fun? Or are you an introvert who likes having fun once in a while? Or are you basically a fun person? If you're any of that, well, I welcome you to a scavenger hunt, which has been brought forth to you by Washura Speaks other team. The place will be Karura Forest. The pay will be 1,000 shillings. How about you start your lipa pole pole and not miss this fun event?